A very good afternoon to you and welcome to our lunchtime news. You're with Newsfirst, your number one news provider. And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Before we get into our stories in detail, let's take a quick look at your headlines.
Elections Commissioner says that the Elections Department is bound to safeguard the confidentiality of the voter. Police force of 200,000 assigned for election duty. Election campaigning concludes. Final rallies of the frontrunners of the presidential poll held in Colombo.
දේශපාලන අත්දැකීම් තියෙන මට දිනන පරිදිනේ හොඳට අවබෝධ කරගත්ත මට අපි අති විශිෂ්ට ජයග්‍රහණයක් අට වෙන්නට අපි ලබා ගන්නවා. ජනවාරි 9 වෙනිදා උදෑසන වන විට රාජපක්ෂ පාලනය අවසන් කරලා මේ රටේ අලුත් ආණ්ඩුවක් අපි හදනවාමයි කියන එක ඉතාම පැහැදිලිව තමුන්නාස්ලට කියනවා.
Number of complaints on election violence rises to 345.
The police says that a police force of 65,000 will be dispatched on election duty from today. Now, police media spokesperson SSPI Throne has said that in the event of an incident, measures will be taken by the police to use the required force to curtail the situation.
65,000 police officers are commencing their election duties today. They are reporting their respective police stations and other centers this morning. They are implementing roadblocks. We have plans to implement 420 permanent roadblocks throughout the country. In addition to that, time to time, snap roadblocks are implemented in order to apprehend the lawbreakers in respect of election law. In addition to that, police mobile patrols and motorcycle patrols and foot patrols are also commencing today. And tomorrow, another 6,000 police officers are commencing their duties in respect of the counting centers, and STF also will be deployed at the outer perimeter of counting centers.
Meanwhile, the Elections Secretariat says that measures have been taken to assign around 200,000 state sector employees on election duty. Now, Additional Elections Commissioner U. Amardas said that they will be assigned for duty at polling stations, counting centers and other coordinating activities related to the presidential election. Moreover, Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya urged the voters to cast their vote during the morning hours on election day.
2015 ජනවාරි 8 වෙනි දින පෙරවරු 7ට ඡන්ද විමසීම ආරම්භ වීමට නියමිතයි.
Voting for the presidential election will commence at 7 a.m. on the 8th of January 2015. We have already deployed the required amount of officials and vehicles to divisional and district election secretariats. It is advisable that you cast a vote during the morning hours on that day. It would also be easier for us if you possess your official polling card when casting your vote. Having your name in the voters list alone isn't sufficient for you to cast your vote. You also have to have a valid identification with you. If you were overseas as of recent, it is advisable that you bring along a valid driver's license or passport. This way it will be much more convenient for you as well.
ඔවුන්ගේ ගමන් බලපත්‍රයේ ඡන්ද පොළට රැගෙන යාම ඔවුන්ටත් අපටත් පහසුවක්.
Meanwhile, the Elections Commissioner also reiterated that Election Department is bound to safeguard the confidentiality of a vote.
ඔබගේ ඡන්දේ රාජ්‍යභාවය සුරැකීමට මැතිවරණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව බැඳී සිටිනවා.
The Elections Department is bound to safeguard the confidentiality of your vote. We also announced that the use of mobile phones or cameras within the polling center is prohibited. Apart from those who are eligible to cast their vote by law, the entrance of others are prohibited. You cannot enter the polling stations as guard of key political figure or anyone else. The police department has no doubts about the security at polling stations.
පොළ තුලට එන්නට බෑ. ඡන්ද පොලේ ආරක්ෂාව ගැන පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව නිසක වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Moreover, the Election Secretariat says that those who are unable to cast their postal vote were provided the opportunity to do so from 9 a.m. to 12 noon today. Campaigning for the January 8th presidential poll concluded at midnight yesterday. Additional Elections Commissioner U. Amardas said that all political parties have been notified in this regard. He went on to note that posters, banners and cutouts of all political officers in all electorates must be removed by today. U. Amardas added that if these instructions are not followed by party officers to remove posters and banners, measures will be taken against them.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that it is his objective to enroll 100,000 students in universities by the year 2020. He made the statement while addressing his final public rally in Piliyandala yesterday.
The last in the series of rallies to garner support for President Mahinda Rajapaksa was held at the Somavira Chandrasiri grounds in Piliyandala last evening.
විතාම සැලසුම් සාගතව අධ්‍යාපනය සකස් කරන්න. මහින්දෝදය විද්‍යාගාර.
We are setting up the education in the country systematically. We have established Mahindodaya laboratories across the country and introduced the new information technology curriculum. By 2020, our objective is to establish university colleges in every district and enroll 100,000 students. This is all for the sake of the youth of this country. I was able to travel from Jaffna to Kilinochchi and from there to Mana and Vaunia. I travelled around the country and then to Polonnaruwa. There we saw a massive gathering of over 100,000 people in an 8-acre large ground and overflowed to the streets as well. I, who has political experience of 45 years and has a clear understanding of victory and defeat, will secure a resounding victory on the 8th.
New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena attended his final campaign rally in Maradana, Colombo yesterday.
The final rally was organised by the Common Opposition to muster support for presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena.
Today, over 65% of the country has taken a clear decision to drive away the rule of Mahinda Rajapaksa and establish a new government. So I say to you quite clearly, after the election on the 8th, on the morning of the 9th, we will most certainly end the Rajapaksa rule and create a new government. I clearly state that from the governments that has stolen from the people in the history of Sri Lankan politics, it is the rule of Mahinda Rajapaksa that has carried out the most amount of thievery. When the people look at the mountain of crimes and thievery that this government has committed, it is certain that they are ready for a new government, a change and a fair society. We would like to give Mahinda Rajapaksa an honourable farewell. So conduct this election in a disciplined manner, steer this government in a disciplined manner, hold a free and fair election. His problems were based on his family, on power and the greed for power. He commenced the journey of an autocratic ruler. University lecturers grasped this opportunity by leaving the lecture hall and took this decision. It was because of this decision that we joined Maithripala Sirisena based on policies to revive this country. We want to bring good governance to the country, not anything else. The one who possesses power takes revenge from the one who doesn't. This ruler has used means of intimidation in his disgraceful rule. This is the only culture that this ruler knows. If the murderous politics of this country is ended, this ruler will fall. He will have to leave politics. All the thugs who are loyal to this current administration will be rehabilitated. You and I, we all could have waited under this presidency for another 2 years. But for our luck, the president decided to call an early retirement. So he held the presidential election 2 years before his term ended. Even if this election was held in another 2 years, it will definitely be Maithripala Sirisena from the SLFP who will come forward as a candidate. I state with responsibility that on the 8th, we will bring freedom to this country for the second time by uniting this main party with the Tamil parties in the north, the Muslim party in the east and the Tamil party in the hills.
The police headquarters has received 345 complaints pertaining to election-related violence. The police media spokesperson SSPI Throwan has said that close to 150 arrests have been made in connection to these incidents, and he added that a special team of police officers will be deployed today to prevent such cases.
The number of complaints related to violation of election law stands at 1,185 with 142 major cases while 1,043 minor cases. The Election Secretariat said 50 were with regard to assaults on individuals, 48 were regarding threats, 36 were related to the misuse of state resources, while 6 were related to shooting incidents. According to the Election Secretariat, the most number of complaints received was from the Colombo district, with the number standing at 191.
Commander of the Sri Lanka Army, Lieutenant General Daratnayaka, says that 4 of the great 10 warriors in Sri Lankan history hailed from Polonnaruwa. The Army commander made this comment while attending a special medical clinic organized for the families of the disabled war heroes and retired servicemen in the Polonnaruwa district.
The medical clinic was held in Mananpitiya and also saw a concessionary insurance scheme being introduced for servicemen.
We are once again studying our 2,500-year-old history in order to revive personalities such as the great 10 warriors. A majority of those warriors hail from Toppigala in Polonnaruwa. Their villages are in surrounding areas, and that is where the army has commenced various programs. One such program is to identify those 10 villages and uplift them. The strongest of them all was Nandamitra. So we identified his village in Vaunia and made it a complete village. The same goes to all 10 villages. We have studied the characters of all 10 warriors. We also constructed a 48-foot tall statue of warrior Nandamitra. The next village is the village of warrior Suranimala in Toppigala. That village will be made complete by October this year.
3 motor accidents were reported from several areas in the country.
6 injuries were reported when a private bus veered off the road and fell into a precipice in Bogahagoda on the Colombo-Akurasa road. Our correspondent stated that the bus met with the accident while flying from Daranagala to Akurasa. The accident is reported to have taken place 20 minutes past 2 a.m. and injured persons were admitted to the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital. The police said that the driver of the bus is in police custody. Several persons were injured when a SLTB bus collided onto the side of a hill close to the Ganadevi temple in Haliyala while flying from Bandalavera to Badulla. Our correspondent said that the injured were admitted to the Badulla General Hospital and one of them is in critical condition. Meanwhile, one person sustained serious injuries in a motor accident last night in the Shavastipura area on the Anuradhapura Padiniya main road. This accident was a result of a head-on collision between a pickup and a motorbike. The motorcyclist was injured in the accident while the driver of the pickup has been arrested.
A herd of moose had stormed into a housing scheme in Bambarakala in Nurelia, causing panic among the locals. Now, locals believe that the herds may have come from the forest reserve located in Bambarakala. Our correspondent added that a makeshift hut was damaged when one moose attempted to jump over a fence. At present, wildlife officers from Nurelia, army personnel and locals have taken measures to chase away the herd of moose. Meanwhile, shots have been fired at a house in Horavadungama located in Bimmanapannala. Police media spokesperson SSPI Throna said that shots were fired at the house at 4 this morning and that no casualties were reported. Meanwhile, the 72-year-old man who self-immolated last morning near the Viharamadevi Park in Colombo has died. Jayasuriya Arachige Jinidasapera, who was a resident of Panipitiya, self-immolated with the use of kerosene oil at around 5:30 last morning and was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital for severe burn injuries. Now, the director of the National Hospital in Colombo, Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, said that the individual succumbed to his injuries last evening. First up in sports, a record partnership of 365 runs in the second innings between Kane Williamson and Vijay Watlin dashed Sri Lanka's hopes of winning the second test in Wellington. The unbeaten partnership for the sixth wicket guided the Kiwis to 524 for 5 before captain Brendan McCullum declared their second innings after tea on the fourth day on the second test. Now, Sri Lanka need to score 390 in 107 overs to win and tie the two-match series after New Zealand won the first game by 8 wickets in Christchurch. Williamson, who was dropped thrice by the Lankans, was unbeaten on 242, his first double test century, while Watling remained not out on 142, his fourth test ton. After the pair had been thrust together after lunch on day 3 with New Zealand on 159 for 5, a lead of just 24 runs. However, Sri Lanka began their chase and the openers had a breezy start before Kanaratne was dismissed for 17 runs and night watchman Damik Prasad joined Kaushal Silva, and at stumps on day 4, Sri Lanka were 45 for the loss of 1 wicket. Meanwhile, 41 days after he rode on the Medicab alongside his injured mate David Warner, paid Philip Hughes a moving tribute at the very ground upon which he was fatally struck. Warner wiped away tears after he reached 63 not out, sunk to his knees and kissed the pitch on the first morning of the 4th test against India. Australia, who won the toss and decided to take ease at the first wicket, saw its openers Chris Rogers and David Warner share 200 runs between them for the first wicket. Rogers fell for 95 in the final ball of the 45th over of the day to Mohammad Shami, and David Warner, who paid tribute to his former teammate Philip Hughes upon reaching 63, went on to score a century and was dismissed on the last ball of the 46th over for 101 runs. At stumps, Australia were 348 runs for the loss of 2 wickets, with Shane Watson on 61 runs not out and Stephen Smith unbeaten on 82 runs.
Conversion rate gets better and better. Third